Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of Fca Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Daily news and updates for 27 January 2025. Apple is in talks with Bharat Forge to make it a supplier, potentially manufacturing components like mechanics. This follows partnerships with Indian firms like Tata Group and Motherson. As Apple shifts production outside China, Indian suppliers like Foxconn and Tata are increasing local value addition. In 2024, Apple produced $17.5 billion worth of iPhones in India, exporting $12.8 billion. The RBI has issued new guidelines allowing foreign-owned or controlled companies in India to buy and swap shares with local businesses, enhancing deal flexibility. This move clarifies and simplifies downstream investment procedures while restricting investments by Chinese subsidiaries in India using retained earnings. US buyout fund Advent International is in advanced negotiations to pick up a controlling stake in Aura Fine Jewelry, owned by one of the country's top diamond manufacturers and retailers, Rosy Blue Group. The proposed deal could value Aura at Rs 1,500 to Rs 1,750 crore as it comes on the back of heightened interest among risk investors for the jewelry retail sector. The CBIC has issued Central Goods and Services Tax Amendment Rules 2025 to introduce new Rule 16A and changes in Form GST Reg 12 for grant of temporary identification number to person who is not liable to registration but is required to make any payment under the provisions of the GST Act. The proper officer may grant a temporary identification number to the said person and issue an order in Part B of Form GST Reg 12. These changes would be effective from a date which shall be notified later. The government is working on a production-linked incentive scheme for non-electronic components used in the manufacturing of key telecom products with the goal of accelerating their localization. In its discussions with stakeholders, the government has proposed two alternative models for linking incentives to a localization roadmap. One option ties incentives to the mandatory localization of electromechanical, plastic and optical components. Perplexity AI has presented a new proposal to TikTok's parent company that would allow the US government to own up to 50% of a new entity that merges the company with TikTok's US business. The proposal submitted last week is a revision of a prior plan the artificial intelligence startup had presented to TikTok's parent ByteDance on January 18th, a day before the law that bans TikTok went into effect. The first proposal sought to create a new structure that would merge San Francisco-based Perplexity with TikTok's US business and include investments from other investors.
This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.